Oh, man. Super professional, right? You can hear my basement clothes washer going or the dry going right now. And professional pillow background. Great. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Collector's Vault. My name is Mike. I guess we're what formerly was the Collector's Vault, because right now, I know it's been like almost 2 years, maybe at least a year since I've done anything like on YouTube or whatever, filming myself. A lot's happened. Have a baby boy now. He just turned 2 this week, which is completely insane. I don't know where the time has gone, but he's incredible. Most of my spare time, my spare money, everything goes towards him, and it's great. He's like the best part of my life, along with my wife, family's, all good stuff. Life's busy, so that's why I haven't really been online. But I really wanted to get back in front of the camera, talk to you guys. I miss you guys. I love talking about the market, collectibles, whatever's going on, things that all tie together with collectibles and investments, crypto, whatever. It's all fun stuff, and I really want to talk to you guys about it, and I want to try to get back into making these videos. Also, one quick thing, in my spare time, I have been trying to work on my own trading card game. Battalion. It's pretty fun. It actually incorporates all of the card games that I love into I just take aspects of all those games into this. We're still currently in the whole development phase. All the art's not even done. It's all just AI art. Just that way the cards have they have some kind of identity when you're playing with them. Because right now we're just play testing and balancing. The game's still pretty young in its infancy, but working on a rule book, we're working on all kind of stuff. There's Instagram where I try to post pictures of the current art to kind of give people a feel for the card game. So yeah, if you guys want to follow it, that'd be great. I'll put the link down below to the Instagram, and I do want to start uploading more to that, so that way people can start to get more knowledgeable of it. And I do want to take it to some card shows or conventions or whatever, so I can actually let people demo the game and let people actually get their hands on it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. But anyway, back to what the main topic of today is, and that's just what's going on currently in the collectible card market. Right now, it seems like, I'll just kind of get this out of the way, Magic, I don't really follow Magic that much, but my understanding is Modern's doing great. All the collectible stuff, the collector boxes are doing great. Everything's at all-time, most of the stuff is all at all-time highs. So Magic's incredibly healthy, which is awesome. I think Vintage is still kind of stagnant, so maybe that'll see a boom in the future, which I think it might pretty soon, just given the next couple points I'm going to be bringing up. Yu-Gi-Oh! So Yu-Gi-Oh! Vintage is again pretty stagnant, but also still healthy for the most part. I don't see cards plummeting in price. I don't see people saying that they don't want to pick up Vintage. Again, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is weird because it comes to vintage, vintage cards. Some of those cards are still playable. So some people just love blinging out their decks. Sorry, super professional with this clothes dry going. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Vintage, some of those old cards are playable, and people just love to bling out their decks and have all the original, they want to have the original Blue Eyes White Dragon, the LOB first editions in their Blue Eyes decks or whatever. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Vintage is doing pretty good. Modern is doing pretty good. I never want to hear someone say the card game's dying. We keep seeing as the new mechanics or the new decks that come out. The power creep is pretty terrible, I will admit, but it doesn't matter. People still keep coming back to the game and they love it, which is great. I think that's cool. I've really just been sticking with the retro stuff. I've been really falling in love with Edison or Tengu Plant format, Hat format. It's all to me that's prime Yu-Gi-Oh! I think that's amazingly fun. That's just my opinion. But yeah, besides that, Pokemon's probably the next big thing I want to talk about, because right now Pokemon is currently seeing what I would say is maybe not a boom, but we're seeing another big spike in hype at the I guess, yeah, sure, it's a boom. We're seeing a boom similar to what we saw during the pandemic era. I'm sure, as you know, that was, I think, it was heavily happening because of product shortages and people not being able to print enough because of COVID, being people not going to work and all that stuff. That was probably a big factor of it, and not being able to get stuff at the stores. But then there was also just a lot of the hype regarding again, the amount of free money people had to buy stuff, the Logan Paul stuff, all the Leonhardt stuff, nothing bad, just the hype around the game, the hype around cards, and the hype around just getting the cards, because it really has nothing to do with people actually playing Pokemon. People just want their shiny cardboard. It is what it is. So yeah, right now I think the biggest talking point is Prismatic Evolutions. I know I'm late to the party on this, so nothing I'm really saying is new information. I'm kind of just giving my take on it, my points, what I think is happening, or what I think about it. And I think right now Prismatic Evolutions truly is an amazing set. I think it's really fun. People love their Eevees. I also like my Eevee cards, my Eeveelutions. So I understand the hype around getting the shiniest and prettiest Umbreons and everything. Just like what we saw with Evolving Skies, people just want their super shiny, hard to pull cards, and the pull rates apparently are so terrible that I think they're averaging that you have to pull or open over a little over 2,000 packs to potentially get like that super fancy new Umbreon with the moon in the background and so yeah. Sorry, my Moonbreon is always going to be the Aquapolis Moonbreon, and the one from I forget which Neo set was, it Neo Discovery? I forget. One of the Neo sets had a Moonbreon, but I know everyone thinks of Moonbreon from the VMAX form, and now the Crown form from Prismatic, but whatever. So a lot of hype around Prismatic Evolutions. I'm sure as many of you know, the prices have gone down, which is I think great. People act like it's a terrible thing. Like there's different parties. Some people think, oh, it's terrible, crash. The reprint that was just confirmed by Nintendo and Pokemon. Oh, it's going to crash the market, crash the set. I think that's just ridiculous. I don't think it's going to happen. People to realize that reprints and I don't want to call it a crash, but dips are good. I mean, right now we're seeing all this crazy hype where you can't get sets at MSRP right now. And for the longest time, like as many people online have said, and I totally agree with them, the past like 7 sets have, maybe even before that, have all been at MSRP or potentially lower, and no one wanted it. Like it was kind of like a joke that these sets were just garbage, and I guess the smart people were slowly picking it up while it was that cheap. Because now I think not one set, no, I'm pretty confident not one set from the Scarlet and Violet era for Pokemon is under $120. Maybe not for main set booster boxes. Not one set is under $130. I think like Temporal Forces or what was the other one? Paradox Rift. I think the last few they were kind of cheap, and now I think they're all 130, 140, maybe more. It is what it is. Now with Prismatic being a special side set, no booster boxes, all ETBs, and the Pokemon Center ETBs. It's definitely going to be hard to get these. It was going to be hard to get a lot of the product. That's just how it is with these side sets. But yeah, now that we're past release day, a lot of product is flooding the market. People are getting stuff from Targets and the Walmarts, the local GameStops, or local game stores. And also, because of the confirmed reprint, it's clear that a lot of the people, like, call them what you want, the flippers, the scalpers, the people who just want to make an easy money, they're definitely trying to sell as much as they can right now because they're afraid of they are afraid of the reprint. They're afraid of the prices going down even more, and the prices might keep going down. So I don't know. I think if they got the stuff like at their local Target and Walmart for MSRP, then they have nothing to worry about. They're still going to make easy money. But definitely the people who are buying like online as the hype increased and they're paying like $140, $150 for an ETB, then yeah, I can see people panicking, thinking, well, now they're just losing money and they just want to recoup as much money as they possibly can. But for everybody else, people who just want the cards because they just like playing the game or they just like having the cards, so the collectors, the long-term investors, whatever you want to call them, this is a great time for us to finally get stuff. Like I know me, I picked up some Prismatic back during the pre-order phase. I paid more than MSRP, sadly, but I paid a lot less than what the prices were going for. And now I'm seeing prices come back down. I think this is a great time for people to pick some stuff up. So for people who just want the cards for themselves or for their family, like for their kids, I know it sucks trying to get these cards, but this might be the best opportunity for you to try to get them at the best price possible. Maybe you're better off just buying singles, but I get it. Kids like opening up the packs and everything. And you can buy the packs kind of like for cheap, like $10 to $12 a piece right now. But I mean, I wouldn't risk buying loose packs right now. But keep checking your local game stores, talk to your GameStops, talk to your local LGS. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to get some stuff for, for the actual retail price. I wish you the best of luck with that. And then for everybody who is thinking long term, if you think that these reprints are going to make this set be worth nothing or go to zero, I don't think it's realistic, because we've seen some sets that were super hyped up, got reprinted to oblivion, as people would joke about, and now they're still worth more than they ever were. Like, I think Roaring Skies was one of the biggest examples of having a massive reprint. The product got super cheap, cards got super cheap, and even now, I think the sealed product, the sealed boxes are the highest they've ever been. Like, and I don't mean just by like a small margin. I mean, they're like double what they used to be. So it didn't matter. Reprints and stuff are great because it just gives you the people who want to invest or hold long term, people who just want the cards, it gives you an opportunity to get them at cheaper prices. So that's my opinion. I don't think we're seeing a crash, especially now with all the hype going on, because we're seeing stuff with the Journey Together set already being scalped terribly. There's a Team Rocket set coming out, and I'm super pumped for that. I love Team Rocket. I think the Team Rocket cards are cool from like the old the Team Rocket set, the Team Rocket Return set. So if they're doing something similar with Dark Pokemon, it's going to be cool as hell. I'm so pumped for that. So yeah, definitely going to be keeping an eye out for those releases. But yeah, it sucks right now that we're seeing this. It also sucks that we're seeing just grown adults acting the way they are, like not liking Pokemon, but just seeing grown adults at like Costco's and everything, assaulting other customers, assaulting each other, like ripping boxes out of their hands and everything. Like, it's just insane. If you, I will say, if you are a fan of mine and you're behaving like that, yeah, shame on you. I think that's just ridiculous and it's just childish. And it's even if you're not being violent, but if you are the guy who goes to the local Target or Walmart, whatever, most of them have a limit on what you can buy, because they know you can't buy, like, people know people are going to come over and just, buy a million things. But, if you can somehow go to the store and just supermarket sweep, like dump all the stuff into one cart and buy them all, I don't think it's a bad thing to do that. I think, again, like, not to talk about like capitalism and everything, but like all I'm saying is, I think it's okay to do that, to buy and hoard. It's not wrong, but just bear in mind, if you are doing that, you're going to look like an asshole. Especially when people are trying to get the stuff and you just beat them to the shelf and just take everything, you're going to look like a terrible person. So just bear in mind with that. It is what it is. Sorry about that, guys. My wife texted me, so I just had to pause the video for a second. Again, super professional. But I think that's all I really like to talk about, guys. Yeah, Prismatic Evolutions is insane, but I think Pokemon the company. They're doing what they can with reprints. I think there might be some crazy changes coming up with how they're releasing the new sets, just given the hype we're in. I don't know when we're going to see an actual like crash where they do properly just reprint everything, all the sets, to the point where the hype dies down. I don't know when it's going to happen. A lot of people are theorizing that's going to happen within the next like 2 or 3 sets. So we'll find out. As far as Pokemon Vintage goes, I did want to say this because not a lot of people are talking about Vintage, except like a few like people like Pokebeard and everything on YouTube. Actually, a pretty cool channel. You guys should go check it out. Shameless plug. But yeah, so Vintage, I think right now, similar to what we saw during the pandemic COVID era, Vintage definitely saw a huge boom, along with modern stuff. But it was like the vintage stuff, like the original base set cards, like those are again up at like basically all WotC, and all those sets got super hyped up. All the graded PSA 10 versions of all those cards got super hyped up. Even the raw stuff, all hyped up. Super inflated pricing, and even right now they're like, people that realize like they're still higher, despite the fact that the prices have dipped. They're higher now than they were before the whole the COVID boom and everything. And right now we're seeing a little bit of a different boom, because I think the COVID boom was a combination of like product availability, people not being able to go out to stores, production issues with trying to manufacture things, giving all the delays because of COVID, whatever. This is different. There is no production issues, there is no material shortages as far as I'm aware. This is just simply people getting super hyped up and going crazy because Pokemon just now is just the time that everyone agrees, yes, Pokemon cards are cool again. Pokemon cards are now, they are once again the next big hype train to buy and try to sell and make quick money. And it's just weird because, again, like for all of the Scarlet and Violet era, some of those sets were MSRP value for like the longest time. I foolishly did not buy any of the stuff at MSRP. Again, I wish I could, but family, baby, blah, 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 whatever. But for all those who were looking for an opportunity to invest in things, yeah, you had all of the Scarlet and Violet era booster boxes and stuff that were all, even the ETBs, they were all good prices. Mainly, especially the Pokemon Center exclusive versions. Now, not one set from Scarlet and Violet, as far as like booster boxes go, not one set is below 130, 140, I think. Like the cheapest is probably like 140. I don't know. I think like maybe like Obsidian Flames, which actually that's a really good set. You guys should to jump on it, Obsidian Flames. It has a crazy art Charizard. It's cheap. That's a set I think you guys should be picking up right now, including myself. Temporal Forces, Paradox Rift. These are probably the cheapest sets that we still have. It's not going to be long before all these boxes are just bought up. That's what the smart people are doing. They're looking at the cheapest stuff because all Pokemon stuff long term goes up. So while you can jump on the hype train of Prismatic Evolutions, Journey Together, Team Rocket, like, hey, you do you. But if you want to see, like, I can't say easy money because I think that it's gone now because now all the sets are pricier. Like nothing's at MSRP anymore. So I think that train left the station, but they're still cheaper. There's still a lot of opportunity for these cards, for these boxes to go to $200 to $300, which is an amazing return. Go even to Sword and Shield. I think like I've always loved the Battle Style set. It's kind of like the Jokey set, how cheap it is and how no one liked it. I like it. I love how it has a sleepy food coma Tyranitar. I think that's really cool, and it's the cheapest. It's not. It definitely has gone up in price now. I think even they're like $140 a box. So the highest that they've ever been, which is cool. But I think they can only go up. So I think that's definitely a better opportunity in buying those cheap the cheapest booster boxes compared to trying to jump on the hype train for the Elite Trainer boxes for Prismatic Evolutions and trying to beat all the scalpers for all the new stuff. There's a lot of old stuff, and I think even vintage, like old stuff. Vintage, I don't know when it's going to happen, but sometime this year, I think it's going to be like a powder keg. We're just going to see it just boom at some point when people realize, holy crap, yes, Pokemon, the new Pokemon's cool and it's expensive, and there's a lot of money to be made in newer Pokemon. All good stuff, but vintage is just sitting there, slowly creeping up. Why is no one jumping on the opportunity to buy first base, like first edition base set Pokemon, holos, at these prices? I'm trying to do what I can to get first edition base. I think first base Pokemon cards are just, that they're like my favorite. That to me, that's like the creme de la creme of all Pokemon, in my personal opinion. So, yeah. Alright, I think that's enough. That's my 2 cents on what's going on right now. Again, really happy to be back in front of the camera talking to you guys. Hoping I can, get more videos made out. Maybe make some more funny videos. Maybe I love talking to you guys about collectibles, memes, all the good stuff. I miss it a lot. So I just have to find the free time to do it. So yeah, I think it's it for now. If you guys, again, please, if you guys want to talk, comment down below. I'm on Instagram. You guys want to just message me on there? I'd be happy to talk to you guys. I can always find time to answer a message or, just shoot the shit about what's going on in the market right now. So I think until then, I think that's all I have. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.